the house always wins. So, House of Black versus Blackpool Combat Club. Let's get that storyline going, everyone. Let's get that story going. Like, you just need to throw that to me on the screen and be like, take my money, take all my money, take all the money you can give me, because I will gladly pay for this thing. I will pay. I will give you all of my money if it means I get this match. So, yeah. Brody King shocked the world, honestly, with this moment. He won a Rampage Royale. I'm definitely thinking it's not referencing anything. Using the two-sided rings. Okay, definitely not referencing anything from, like, the 90s or anything. Yeah, you see why I like this company a lot? Like, it makes its mistakes. We'll acknowledge that. But the fact that they try to integrate all the old history of the wrestling universe, of wrestling's past, like 2 rings, oh, you definitely are thinking, oh, this is World War III rings. And all the other insane stuff they've done. And surprisingly, Brody King won the first Royal Rampage match. Yeah, I was shocked. Like, the Royal Rampage match, I was shocked that they went with Brody King. Like, you were thinking, oh, well, maybe they'll go with Darby Allin. Like, Darby Allin's beginning another sizable push again. And plus, he has a history of Jon Moxley. It would be a good opening fight for him. Plus, it would be a much bigger crowd than before. Nope. It's going for Brody King out of all people. And I was generally surprised. I knew it wasn't going to be Hangman. As much as that would have made sense to some people. But I felt like they'll probably go with Darby. They'll probably go with Orange Cassidy. Nope, they went with Brody King. And I was like, well played. So, Jon Moxley has to fight yet another Brody of another lifetime. And it's convenient that they are having this match take place, and it's convenient timing, honestly, I think, that this match is taking place in Brody Lee's hometown, Worcester, New York. And this leads into the confrontation. The House of Black, Blackpool Combat Club, locked in Mortal Kombat, and sadly it did not go as I hoped. When you have 2 big, powerful factions, you kind of wanted to go all out with it, no pun intended. Like, you got the AEW Interim World Champion, Jon Moxley, taking on the House of Black's second member, Brody King. And you're thinking, okay, they have to do something crazy. Just to, like, get this thing going. Get Jon Moxley's new interim run that he was screwed out of when the pandemic happened, and he couldn't have a lengthy reign with a consistent crowd, sadly, because pandemic. And now you're just like, oh, well, this is going to be great. This is a great starting point for him. Nope. They couldn't, like, the match we got was decent. It was decent. That's all it was. It was decent. It was what it wanted, what they were going for, no doubt. But the teasing that it could go beyond 10, like, here's the thing. I'm all for that, but here's the difference, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. At least WWE will commit to going over the 11:05 time slot, depending on the circumstances. Like, I still recall they let, with Rock to be coming back after 7 years, they went and had him be on the show at 11, and he was there for like about 30 or 40 minutes, and they were like, just throw the money, just throw the money, just throw the money. You just let the guy talk, and let him talk passionately, with passion. And they generated high numbers with that. And they always say this, Tony Khan's always going to say he bought the time to get this indefinitely. No, he didn't. Like, at best, he brought them like 5 minutes. It's kind of annoying they do that. It really is that you're given this hype perspective that, oh, this could go like 10 more minutes. You could give this like 15 minutes. Instead of what made people fear would be about a 10-minute bout with an additional 90 seconds. And yeah, that it was the latter. I don't know. I feel like it was missing something. Like, it really felt like something was missing here, I felt. Probably because it's the idea in your head. Probably the idea that was running through my head, like, oh god, imagine it. We could see the House of Black and Blackpool Combat Club lock in Mortal Kombat. I think, like, when you add these two factions, and this is the thing, up until this point, like, after Jericho's run, everyone else, Jon Moxley, I think, was the only world champion that was pretty much not in a group at the time. Now he's finally in a group, so it's like, oh, all the chaos we could do with this. Like, you could still have Jon Moxley beat Brody King, but I think a lot of people wanted House of Black and Blackpool Combat Club to just interlock. Like, the title to them, to a lot of fans, was on the side. Like, oh, it's still important, but it's like the spectacle that you could have gotten with Claudio, with Wheeler Yuta, with Jon Moxley, with Regal interacting with Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, who sadly is recovering from injury. Yeah, he's also injured, so I think that's one of the reasons it was slogged down a little bit. And our Julia Hart poison crazy goth girl now. I feel like there was so much more that could have done with this, and I love how now it looks like Malachi is moving from his beef with Death Triangle that has several delays because Rey Fenix broke his arm earlier this year. They're going for Malachi Black and Muro, and it's like, oh god, I can't even pick who I want to win that feud. Like, do I go with the Redeemer, Miro, or do I go with the House? And my god, I don't know who to choose on that. I keep thinking this is going to lead to our old Buddy English coming in to save the day, and by that be a sacrificial lamb, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I feel like that was the biggest problem for the people for this match. I feel like it was good, it was just okay and decent. But I feel like the imagination we could have gotten with this match, like, imagine if you went more all in with this match, had it go for an additional 4 more minutes, it probably could have been a spectacle. And if you added Malachi and Julia Hart, like, I would have loved to see Malachi interact with William Regal, considering their past has William Regal, the whipped GM of NXT, dealing with his old buddy Aleister Black, who grabbed him multiple times and tried to strangle him, and then kicked his staff and subordinates. Like, I feel like you just, like, since you always expected this kind of stuff being brought up somewhat, because there's some stuff they can't mention, I feel like the spectacle kind of slogged it down for people. Like I said, decent match. Brody King looked good in this match. Jon Moxley just needed a good jumping on point here with his run, since he's no doubt going to drop it to Punk and probably at All Out or Full Gear. And I'm still rooting for Eddie Kingston to be 2023's AEW World Champion. I don't care if it has to be either Punk or MJF at this point. Oh man, I'm still rooting for that. I'm still rooting for that. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, Tony. You already let me down enough as it is with the 30 grand you owe me. The more you keep featuring Swerve in our glory. And yes, I am still running that into the ground until I get my money. So yeah. Yeah. So Jon Moxley gets a submission victory over Brody King. Now, the thing about this, it reminds me of when DIY, I'm pretty sure it was DIY's tag team match, how they were near the ropes and they could have grabbed onto it and got the rope break. and yet they didn't. They just gave up afterwards, or in Brody King's case, he's passed out. I would have been like, no. If he held out for a couple more seconds, he could have got the ropes. If he just stretched his arm out, he could have gotten the ropes, or got a little bit out of the ring, and he could have continued the match. It felt like, even though they say they're going to do over 10 p.m., they're like, we got a deadline here. We wrap this up. We got to find a way to wrap this up. Yeah, still feel that. And sure enough, that hurt the match a little bit for me. But Brody King and Jon Moxley, I feel like they should have another match down the road and have it be less restraint and see how they can go with a full 15-minute matchup they could do. It doesn't need to be DQ, no DQ or anything. It just needs to be, just give it its time and enough feeling for it, enough of the feeling out process. Like, we knew Moxley would get a win. I knew that, but like, I feel like it could have been more. But we'll see if they ever feud, if they do another match down the road, which I'm hoping after Moxley loses the title, Blackpool Combat Club, House of Black, go to war. Let's do it. Because remember, the house always wins as a group. Though that would mean they would need another guy on their team. I would say we could win him Rotunda, since he has a history of Claudio by proxy. He has a history with Jon Moxley, especially. He has a history with William Regal. I could see him work a good match with Wheeler Yuta. Like, he seems to work better with more fast-paced, aggressive wrestlers like AJ Styles did from his big performance breakout in the Elimination Chamber after he eliminated Cena. So you definitely have something here for it. I'm like, this is probably just me thinking, can we please have Bray Wyatt in AEW with all that creative power? Please! But yeah, I think that'll about do. So Jon Moxley retains. We look forward to what he does next, as CM Punk's return looms ever closer. But let's hope Jon Moxley is able to end the world title run on much better terms than how he got knocked in the face with a microphone. It was during a pandemic era. Though I'm pretty sure we're gonna do something insane for that match. Ladder. Anyways, if I'm sorry right on that, then I need, like, since that's a main event all out match you can do, I'll need like a couple of G's, probably, I don't know, 50 G's, Tony, just if you watch this video somehow, because you haven't made you watch Twitter comments. So I'll give you my bank account, just send me a direct message. So, anyways, as my rivalry against the power fantasy of Tony Khan continues, I'll be back with you guys next time. This was Neo Reality Entertainment, the WrestleVerse. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my other content in the description below, stay tuned for more. I'll see y'all next time. Plug my Patreon and all that. Stay tuned for more. I'll see you all next time. Take care and have a good day, everybody. Take care.